Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. So I'm excited because I am starting a series called Crochet Patterns for Beginners. In each of these videos, I'll be showing you different patterns that even beginners can make. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the Alpine Stitch. I like the Alpine Stitch because of its deep texture, and you guys are going to see what I mean as we start to create it. You can make a number of things from knowing how to make the Alpine Stitch. You can make scarves, pot holders, sweaters, hats. You can think of it, you can make it with the Alpine Stitch. And so I think this is an awesome pattern for beginners. So let's get to it. All you're going to need is some yarn and a crochet hook. Alright, so we're going to start with the slip knot, and the way we do that is you take your tail, wrap it over your finger like that, twist, pull that over, and now we're going to take that loop and pull it over that one while pulling up on the loop that we left on our finger. We'll take our crochet hook and insert it into the hole, and then we will pull to tighten. Alright, so the first thing we need to think about is how wide we want this to be. Now this is obviously just a swatch, but let's say we were making a scarf. So if we're making a scarf, I need to think about how many chains will make it wide enough for a scarf. Now you may not know that, and it could depend on various things. One example being your tension, or another being the thickness of the yarn, etc. So you're just going to start chaining until you get to your desired width. The only thing that I'm going to ask you to do is make sure that how many ever chains you have, it's an odd number, okay? So I know that I am going to make mine 17 stitches wide. So I'm going to chain out 17 stitches, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. All right, so now that we have our 17 chains, we're going to create single crochets for this first row. So we're going to put our first single crochet into the second chain from the hook. If you look here, there's one chain, and then that's the second chain from the hook. So we'll skip this chain and go into that one. When you make a single crochet, you don't yarn over first, you just go into the stitch. So we'll go into it like that. Now yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, and go through 2. I just want to tell you that because you skipped that first chain and went into the second chain from the hook, and you crocheted 17 chains, that means that you should have 16 single crochets by the time you're done with this row. Does that make sense? Alright, so just go into the chains and put your single crochets. Okay? In there, yarn over, pull through to the front, go through. To the next chain, yarn over, pull through to the front, and go through. Okay? So I'm going to continue making my single crochets, and I will meet you at the end of this row. Alright, so here are my 16 single crochets. That is row 1. Moving on to row 2, you're going to chain 2. So 1, 2. Now we're going to turn our work, and we're going to put double crochets into each of the single crochets. Now this single crochet right here, that was the last single crochet we made of the previous row. So that single crochet is that stitch. This chain 2 counts as the stitch in that single crochet. So that chain 2 counts for that stitch. So we go to the next stitch which is there, and we just put a double crochet. So you yarn over, 1 into the stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front. We have 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. So this first single crochet has that chain 2. That next single crochet has the double crochet, and we're just going to continue. The next single crochet, which is there, you can identify by that top right there, we're going to put our double crochet into. So just slide it in there like that, yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops on our crochet hook, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go into the next one. That's the top of it, like that, yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops on our crochet hook, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and just continue putting double crochets into each of the single crochets in the row below. I will meet you at the end of this row. Okay, so we have one more double crochet to make in this row, and it's right there. Looking at it from here, you can tell that you haven't made enough stitches because this row is not as long as that row. But you also, looking at it from this perspective, may not be able to tell where you're supposed to go into, like where's the stitch. So if you are confused, just turn your work toward you so you get an aerial view, and now you can see clearly that top there. So we'll yarn over and then go into that final single crochet of row 1, like that, yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, and now we've completed row 2. By the way, you should have a total of 16 stitches, or how many ever stitches you're crocheting for your project. You will be maintaining 16 stitches for each row from here on out, okay? And this chain 2 at the very beginning, that counts as one of the stitches. So make sure that you have 16 stitches and that you maintain 16 stitches throughout. All right, let's move on to row 3. So we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now the thing that you should know is that you'll be alternating single crochet rows with double crochet rows. Okay, so since we just completed a double crochet row, then the next row is going to be a single crochet row. Whenever you're crocheting a single crochet row, you only chain 1, and whenever you're crocheting a double crochet row, you will start out by chaining 2. Because this is a single crochet row, we chained 1, now we're turning our work. This time we are going to work in that first stitch there, and that's where we're going to put our first single crochet. Now yarn over, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2. Alright, the next stitch gets a single crochet. The next one, and we're just going in the tops like normal, making a single crochet. The next one, slice the icing. I like to call that part the icing on the cake. Just slice the icing off, like such, okay? Like so. Alright, I will see you at the end of this row. Alright, so I have crocheted 15 single crochets. Remember, each row should have 16 stitches, so that means I have one more single crochet to put somewhere. Now if you look there, that was the last actual double crochet, and I put a single crochet in it. But we do have this chain 2 on the edge here, okay? And it's hard to identify, but yes, that's your chain 2 there. So we're just going to put a single crochet into that stitch. So see the 1 chain, 2 chain, that top chain, that's where we're going to put our single crochet. So just go into that top chain, yarn over, go through 2, okay? And now we have 16 stitches. So first row was single crochet, next row was double crochet, third row single crochet again. The next row is going to be double crochet because remember we're alternating between the rows. But now the fun part starts. So since we're starting a double crochet row now, we're going to chain not one but two. 1, 2. We're going to turn our work, and now we really get to have fun here. Okay, so we chain 2, and the chain 2 counts as the first stitch. So now we're going to go to the next stitch, but we're going to make a front post double crochet. So we're not working with this line, we're working with this one. This is the next stitch there. So since it's a front post double crochet, we're going to yarn over, and instead of going in the top of that single crochet there, we're going to go down to where this double crochet is down there. And we're going to come in from the front, go to the back, around and behind it, and then back out to the front. Now we're going to take our yarn and yarn over like that. We're going to pull it through the way we came, coming back out to the front. And you see how the loops are really small? You want to pull up so that you can get to your normal height for the row that you're currently working on. Now we still have 3 loops on our crochet hook, which is what we want because we're making a double crochet. Essentially, it's just a front post double crochet. We're going to yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over again, and go through 2, 1, 2. Okay, and we've just made our first front post double crochet. If you look behind here, there is a single crochet back there that we did not crochet into because we went down another row to crochet around this double crochet down there. Alright, so now we're going to alternate between front post double crochet and regular double crochets. So we're going to go to the next stitch. And if you're confused about where to go, you went into that one. So the next stitch over down there is there. So go up and look at what stitch is in that one. It's that one. So that's the next stitch. We're going to put a regular double crochet. So yarn over. We're going to go into the top of that single crochet there. Yarn over, pull through to the front. 3 loops on a crochet hook, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. Okay, so we have so far with this row, we have the chain 2 at the beginning, we have the front post double crochet, we have the regular double crochet, and now it's time to make another front post double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, because we're preparing to make a front post double crochet, and this is the next stitch, but we're going to be crocheting into the stitch below, that double crochet below. So we yarned over, we'll come in from the front, go to the back, behind and around that double crochet, coming back out to the front. You're going to yarn over. Now we're going to go back the way we came, pulling that yarn through. And now we want to pull up, giving some slack, all right, so that we come up to the height of the row that we're currently working on. Now we're going to yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2. All right, so once again, we've created another front post double crochet, and there's a single crochet behind that we did not crochet into. Once again, if you're confused with where you should crochet next, then just look at what you've done. This is the front post double crochet, and you crocheted around that stitch. So moving over 1 to the pink one, that's the next stitch, but because it's a regular double crochet that we're making, we're going to crochet into the single crochet above. So yarn over. That's the single crochet for that double crochet, that pink double crochet. So that's where we're going to put our double crochet. Go into the stitch. Yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. All right, the next one is the front post double crochet. And remember, whenever you're making a front post double crochet, you always go down a couple of rows to crochet around the previous row of double crochets. So when you're doing the front post, you'll never crochet into any of the single crochets. You have to go down to the previous row of double crochets and do your front post. So yarn over now. Once again, if you don't know where to go, this double crochet was in that single crochet, which was in that double crochet. So this is the next stitch. So yarn over, come from the front, go to the back, behind and around, and back out to the front of that stitch. Now yarn over. We'll pull a yarn back through, pulling up to get it to a comparable height of the stitches of the row that we're currently working on. Yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. Yarn over, go through 2. Alright, regular double crochet. And there, and that single crochet. Front post double crochet, yarn over, go down to that double crochet, kind of bring your yarn forward, and then lift up on it, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Regular double crochet goes into that stitch. Front post, we go down, next stitch goes into that one. Next front post double crochet goes into that one. Next double crochet goes into that stitch. And then you don't want to end on a front post double crochet, so we're just going to make another regular double crochet and put it into that single crochet at the end there. Okay, so this is what you guys have so far. And once again, you should still have a total of 16 stitches. So let's count. 1, that's the chain 2 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay? So you'll always be maintaining 16 stitches, and we just alternate it between the front post double crochet, which we crochet around the double crochets a couple of rows down, and the regular double crochets, those that are in the back right now, that are crocheted into the single crochets of the previous row. Alright, you guys will get the hang of this. So since we just completed a double crochet row, now we have to do a single crochet row. And remember, whenever you do a single crochet row, you start out by chaining 1. Turn your work. And then we're just going to put single crochets in every stitch. And remember, when you're doing your single crochet row, you do go into that very first stitch and add your single crochet there. Alright, so just put single crochet into every stitch. You should have a total of 16, and I will see you at the end of this row. Alright, I'm almost done. Don't forget about this chain 2 at the beginning of that row that we're going to put our final single crochet into. So just go into the top chain there. And put your final single crochet, your 16th single crochet there. Okay? The next row is a double crochet row, and we're going to chain 2. Turn our work. And now we're going to look at what we already have. Okay? So this chain 2 counts for that first stitch there. The next stitch, if you look down here, is a front post double crochet. So we're not going to put a front post into a front post. We're going to put a regular double crochet into the stitches that have the front post. So this is the first stitch down here. This is the next stitch. So likewise, this is the first stitch. This is the next stitch. Into this next stitch, which corresponds to that front post there, we're going to put a regular double crochet into that. So you never want to try to front post into this front post. I mean, that's something that's commonly done in other patterns, but for the Alpine stitch, no, you don't. Now, since we've alternated, we know that the next one is just a regular double crochet. And in this regular double crochet, which is kind of sitting back there, but it's there, then that's where you're going to put your front post. So yarn over, go down, come from the front, go to the back, and around. Now bring our yarn forward to yarn over. And pull through the way you came. Now pull up to get it to the height of the current row we're working on. Yarn over, go through 2. 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay. And now we created the front post. The next stitch down here was a front post. This front post is for that single crochet there, so that's where we're going to put our regular double crochet. Remember, you never front post into a front post. So I like to look at this row of double crochets to tell me what I should be doing. So this is a regular double crochet down there, so I'm going to put a front post down there. Yarn over, go down, back and out, yarn over, pull it through, pull all the way up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, this is a front post down there, so I know up here I'm going to put a regular double crochet. So remember, the regular double crochets are crocheted into the single crochets of the previous row, and the front post double crochets are crocheted into the regular double crochets 2 rows down. Okay. The next one, since we did a regular, we know it's a front post, and we need to go down to get that regular double crochet down there. All the way up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Alright, so keep working it like that, and I will meet you at the end of this row. Alright, the second to last stitch was a front post double crochet. And so in this final single crochet, we're going to make a regular double crochet. Okay, so this is what you have now. Okay, this is what the Alpine stitch is starting to really look like. So now I'm going to let you work on this for a little bit. So you know the next row will be the single crochets. So chain 1, turn your work, put a single crochet in every stitch, including that very first stitch. And then when you get down here, chain 2, turn your work, and then start to put your front post double crochets into the appropriate stitches. Okay. All right, so it's starting to take form. Let me do a couple more rows just to make sure you have the hang of it. So the next row is going to be a row of single crochets, and then after that, that'll be the row of double crochets with the front posts. We're going to chain 1 because this is a row of single crochets, turn our work, and we're going to put that first single crochet into that very first stitch that the chain 1 is coming out of, and then every stitch across, maintaining a total of 16 stitches. I will see you on the other side. Alright, 2 more stitches, this double crochet, it's a single crochet, and then this chain 2 on the end also gets a single crochet. The next row is the double crochet row, so we chain 2, 1, 2, turn our work, and analyze. Alright, so this chain 2 counts for that first stitch, and then we get to looking, this is the next stitch, but what's going on below? That's a double crochet, and it's just a regular double crochet. You can tell because it sits back, whereas this one protrudes out. So since this is a regular double crochet, then we have to make a front post double crochet in it. So even though this is the next stitch, because we're doing front post, we're going to go down here because this is a regular double crochet. Pull up, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Alright, the next stitch down here is a front post down there, so we're going to put a regular double crochet up here into that single crochet. So yarn over, go into it like that. And as you do this more and more, it will get easier. Pull through to the front, all the way up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. The next stitch is a regular, so we go into the single crochet. The next stitch is front post, so we go down there to grab it, yarn over, pull it back through, pull up a little bit, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. The next stitch is a regular, so we just go into that single crochet there. The next stitch is front post, so we go down there, grab that regular one, yarn over, pull through, all the way up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. The next one is regular, so we go into that single crochet. The next one is front post, so we go down, get that one that's kind of high back there, pull it all the way up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Regular is the next one, so go into that single crochet. Next one is front post, go down there, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. The next one is regular, so yarn over and go into that single crochet. Next one is front post, go down there, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Alright, the next one is regular, so we go into the single crochet. And then remember, you don't ever want to end with a front post, so we just put another regular double crochet into that final single crochet there. So you notice that the front posts are always in between previous front posts. You never front post into the front post for this Alpine stitch. If you did, you would have straight lines going up, right? But because we are staggering the front posts, it gives that texture, that beautiful Alpine texture. Alright, so I just want to check back in, and I wanted to show you that every time you do your row of single crochets, chain 1 and turn your work, this is what it's going to look like. And this is what you're going to see before you start your double crochet row. So let's analyze this, okay? So this chain 2 up here counts for that first single crochet and this stitch. The next stitch is a regular double crochet. If you don't know how I know that, look at the one next to it. That's a front post. That's what a front post looks like, okay? It's posted around that double crochet down there. So that's a regular double crochet there. So because this next stitch is a regular double crochet, it's okay to put your front post around it, okay? So you're going to do a front post double crochet around this stitch. Then moving on to the next stitch, you'll see that this is a front post double crochet. And remember, for this pattern, we don't front post around a front post. So that means you're gonna crochet a regular double crochet, but you're gonna do it in the single crochet above. Okay, so that single crochet corresponds to that front post double crochet there. So you'll put a regular double crochet there. The next stitch, it's a regular double crochet that's back there, so we're going to front post into that. The next stitch that you make is a regular double crochet, and because it's regular, it'll go into the single crochet. So I hope that this Alpine Stitch tutorial was helpful. I thought this would be a good stitch for beginners. And so I hope you have enjoyed this first video of my Crochet Patterns for Beginners series. Let me know how you like it in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, happy crocheting!